friends, welcome back to another vlog. So I figured I would start off today. I'm not sure if it's going to be a one-day vlog or if we're going to tack on multiple days, but today is actually my husband and my anniversary, which is pretty exciting. We have been married officially for 14 years now, which is awesome and exciting. One of these days we'll go away for our anniversary because it is our anniversary, but it is kind of just a normal day. He is at work. I don't have to work today, but I just have my normal, cleaning house, cooking, all of the things. So one of the things though that I do want to do special for our anniversary, because we kind of like celebrated our anniversary this past weekend, but since it is the actual day, I still wanted to do something a little special. So I am actually going to be making a chocolate peanut butter cake today. So I'm going to do that with you guys. We're going to do some cleaning. We've got some things to discuss. But before we get started on that, I want to try something with you. So this is the International Delights iced coffee, and it is the pumpkin pie spice. You can find this in the refrigerated coffee section of your local Walmart. At least that's where I found it. And I don't remember them ever having pumpkin pie spice before. I've tried the mocha one, I've tried the caramel one, and I've tried the Reese's peanut butter cup one, but I don't remember ever seeing this one. So I have myself a glass here. Let's give it a taste. Oh, okay. This is really good. Okay, so I'm not going to compare it to like a Starbucks, a pumpkin spice latte. It's not quite as sweet as one of those. And obviously this is not Starbucks coffee, which I feel like Starbucks coffee has a very unique taste. Like you can definitely pick Starbucks coffee out of a lineup, and this is more just like your normal coffee flavor, and like I said, not as sweet, and the spices are not quite as like in your face. So I'm gonna say this is not quite as like strong as like a Starbucks pumpkin spice latte, but it's really good. And like, as weird as this sounds, something about the like aftertaste has almost like a caramely taste to it, which is weird because this is not caramel, but it's good. It's good. Definitely worth, like if you're a coffee person, it's definitely worth picking up and giving it a try. And to be honest, I will probably pick this up again because pumpkin spice lattes are expensive, and this was, I think it was like $4.87 or $4.97 or something, but you get obviously a lot in here. I could pick this up and get like a thing of whipped cream, and I could make my own like, fancy coffee drinks at home for like a fraction of the price. So definitely will be picking that up again. Let me know in the comments down below if you have tried it, and let me know what you thought of it. Also, let me know if there's any other products at the grocery store right now that you have tried, like new seasonal items that you think I should give a try, because you guys know I love trying new things. So we're actually going to talk about the grocery store a little later on, but first I do want to get started on the cake. That way I can bake it, and it needs to be able to cool before I'm able to frost it. So let's go ahead and get started on that. So the recipe that I'm making, it's actually chocolate peanut butter crazy cake, and it is like so good. I've made this multiple times. It's actually one of our favorites. And so I will type out the recipe down below for you guys in case you are interested. But the other thing I do like about this is it only makes like an 8x8 or a 9x9 pan. So it doesn't make you like this big honkin' cake that you got to eat. So it's like a little bit smaller, which is perfect for us. So that's what we are making. So one of the things that I think is cool about this recipe, because I'm just a big kid, is it does have baking soda and vinegar in it. So we get to do like the little volcano experiment. Did you guys do that in school, where you add it in and it foams up like that? So that's pretty cool. It's called a crazy cake because it's from the Great Depression, so it does not have eggs in it. It doesn't have butter, anything like that. It's just got like your typical, like flour, cocoa, sugar, that type of stuff, and then it has vinegar and vegetable oil in it. It is really good. It's a super moist cake, and it's like the flavor on it is just amazing. So I definitely encourage you guys to give it a try if you are a fan of chocolate peanut butter cake. And honestly, you don't even have to do the frosting. The frosting does have butter in it, but you don't even have to do the frosting. Quite honestly, you could just make the chocolate cake and then like put like powdered sugar, like a dusting of powdered sugar or something on it. It's really, really good. So like I said, I'm using a 9x9 pan, and I've just kind of lightly sprayed it with like cooking spray. I'm just gonna put this in. All right, and then this goes into a 350-degree oven for about 40 minutes. And the frosting actually takes a 1/4 cup of butter, so I went ahead and pulled that out of the refrigerator so that it can come to room temperature, which makes, making the frosting much, much easier. Okay, so while that is baking, I figured I would sit down and kind of chat with you guys. A lot of you say you guys like this part of the video when we just sit down and like chat, like you guys are like here sitting at the table with me. So I mentioned earlier that I wanted to like talk about the grocery store. So I went to the grocery store a couple of days ago, and now I haven't like price checked. I haven't like fact checked or anything like that, but I feel like the prices are going up again, because I swear to you guys, like 2 months ago, I could go into the store and like spend a certain amount of money, like not buying extras. Obviously, if I'm like buying extra stuff, like extra treats or whatever, I know to take that into consideration. But I'm talking like if I just went in there and bought basic stuff, I feel like, I mean, obviously even then it was, higher prices than it was a year ago, but I feel like 2 months ago, I would spend like X amount of dollars. And when I went to the store a couple of days ago, I didn't get any extras or anything. It was seriously just like the basic stuff. And it just seems like now I can't get out of the store without spending more money, even though I'm not getting anything extra. I can't figure it out. And like I said, I haven't like price checked, so I haven't like sat down with like, you know what I mean, like an actual spreadsheet or anything like that, and like, price checked from 2 months ago or anything. But it just feels to me like the prices are going up. And I don't know if you guys are like this. Like, obviously, like financially, like that, I'm fine. But when I get that feeling like, like the prices are going up, I start to get that like feeling in the pit of my stomach that like, you know what I mean? Like almost like you feel like something's got to give, like something needs to be reined in, something needs to change. Like you need to make note of it. Like something, I don't know. Do you guys get that? Like, and it's not just necessarily groceries. Every once in a while, like I will just get that like feeling of like, okay, there needs to make, you need to make some changes. You need to pay attention to this. Like, this is something that, you know what I mean? Like, something needs to be done. So I just feel like I need to rein it in on groceries. Not like, how do I even explain this? I guess reining in is not even what I'm meaning to say. Like, reining it in, yes, but like more so than like reining it in. You guys know, like if you were with me like on my old channel, you guys know that I in the past was like a big time like stockpiler, as far as like I had, a lot of back stock of groceries. And that has dwindled away. Like I don't have like it's it's sad, you guys. What I have now compared to what I had then is just, it is a night and day difference. And I just feel like I need to get back into that, like where I have a back stock of groceries for a couple of reasons. I feel like there is that little feeling in the pit of my stomach that's just like, you need to have that back stock just in case of a job loss, just in case of, whatever. There's so many different reasons that people have, like a stockpile of groceries and things. But more so than that, like I feel like when I had a large stockpile of groceries, a lot of the things that like I buy at the grocery store right now, I wasn't buying before because I was making it myself at home because I had all the ingredients. Does that make sense? So, for example, if I had a ton of things stockpiled for, let's say, what's an example? Macaroni salad. Let's just take macaroni salad. So instead, I would have all the ingredients that I need except for like maybe the fresh ingredients, which in macaroni salad, that would be like a green pepper and an onion probably. Other than that, like you have what? Your mayonnaise, you have your pasta, you know what I mean? Like, so literally instead of me having to spend almost $5 on like a little tiny tub of macaroni salad, I was able to make an entire bowl full from things I already had on hand, and all I would have to buy from the grocery store would be like a green pepper and an onion. So I would be saving money because I had the ingredients already stocked. I don't know. So, and it's not just that, it's baked goods. Like I always used to have a freezer full of like cookies and muffins and quick breads and things like that. So, if I wanted some kind of a snacky type thing to pack in like my husband's lunch, instead of me buying anything like desserty, I had it on hand. So I just would pull it out of the freezer. If somebody would stop by or something like that, you know what I mean? I always had stuff that I could pull out. And I just feel like I've really gotten away from that. And I feel like it's time to like rein it back in and start getting back to that. So I don't know. I feel like that's something I want to do. So today at some point, I do want to kind of look at some of my cabinets. Here's the other thing too. Sometimes getting back into it, because like I said, it is so depleted. I'm almost like, where do I even start? So even though it doesn't necessarily make sense to everybody, for me, sometimes it's easier to just go like cabinet by cabinet. And if you remember, actually on this channel, it was probably 2 or 3 months ago, I actually did stock up my like baking mix cabinet. And honestly, like that cabinet, I'm still good on because I've kept up on it. So like if I used a brownie mix, I would buy a brownie mix and put in there. So I've actually kept up on that cabinet. So that cabinet is still golden, but I haven't done it with any other cabinets or anything for that matter. And yeah, I just feel like it's time to pick that up. I guess, and this kind of goes along with it, but this is also kind of like, like a fork in the road, and we're going to go a different direction with this one. But it kind of, like I said, it kind of fits with what I'm already talking about, is just intentionality. I feel like lately that has been like my word, which is funny. Most people, how people, January 1st is like their new year. And a lot of people will pick like a word for the year. I have never felt like January 1st is the new year. I have always felt like autumn is the new year, because I'm like academically minded. So like the school year, even though I'm not in school anymore, like the school year has always felt like the new year to me. So let's just go with that. So autumn is my new year. So the word for my new year is intentionality. I feel like I need to be more intentional about so many things. I also feel like, probably because it is autumn and it's like my favorite season, I want to slow down so much and be able to enjoy so much. And I feel like in order to be able to slow down and enjoy too much, I really need to be intentional about so many things. So there are going to be a few changes on this channel with a couple of different things. Not like, you guys will see, like, not anything bad. Like, I'm not taking anything away. I'm just going to change the way I'm doing a couple of things. And then I actually may be adding more into it with like the coffee and the tea, just because that is such a passion of mine. And it's kind of funny because I look at my analytics and my tea videos are so. Like, they're definitely like at the bottom of the list as far as like performance, but they're some of my favorite videos to film. And I want to do what I'm passionate about. And so I just feel like that is something that I want to continue doing on this channel and adding to it, even though analytically it's probably a stupid move because, yeah, it doesn't do that well. But you know what? Here's the other thing too. I thought in my head about restarting the tea channel, and I don't think I could keep up with 2 channels right now. So I feel like if I started that other channel, either I'm not going to be able to put much effort into it, or I would be putting a lot of effort into that channel and then this channel would suffer. So I don't really want to do that at this point, but I definitely want to do more with the tea and coffee and stuff. So I don't know, but see, that's what I mean. We get off on these like rabbit trails and like go all different directions. So anyway, the moral of the story is I feel like I need to be more intentional in my life in general and also slow down. So I need to start stockpiling again. I need to have a stock pantry. That is going to help me to bake and cook more, which is going to make me happy anyway because I love to bake and cook. And this is the time of year where like I really want to do that, and I love trying new recipes. And if I have ingredients on hand, I'm more likely to try new recipes because I'm not having to go to the store, like, you know, to get the stuff. It's also going to help me to not have to buy a lot of the pre-made stuff that's at the store. I am not against pre-made though, you guys, either. Like I am not, you do you, okay? I am not a food shamer. I am not the type of person that's going to be on here and is going to start telling you, you shouldn't eat that because it's got this and this and this and this in it. You do the best that you can for your family, and nobody is going to, like, at least me on this channel and in the comments, nobody is going to judge you for that. If I get comments on this channel telling people, you shouldn't eat that because it's got blah, 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 blah. And, you know, you're saying this to some single mom who's doing the best she can and she's putting what she can afford on the table and trying to take care of her. No, we do not food shame on this channel. I will delete the comment and people will get blocked. So I am not going to food shame. So as far as like when I say like I'll have, you know, be eating less of like the pre-made and pre-packaged stuff, I'm not saying that from like a health standpoint. I am strictly coming at this right now from a financial standpoint. Like I'm saying like it would be cheaper for me to be able to make some of this stuff at home and to have it in my freezer, like the muffins and things like that, than for me to purchase it. So we're strictly talking from finances right now. And then I feel like on the food train, though, let's talk about the food train because I am such a foodie. And I've talked about this before, you guys. I am in such a food rut right now because I have been so busy, which another thing, this is why I feel like I need to just like slow it down and be intentional about slowing down. I have been so busy that by the time I sit down to make like a meal plan for the week, I don't even mentally want to go there. Like I'm so mentally exhausted that I keep putting the same foods on the menu that I know we like. So it's like we're just doing all these meals on repeat. But the problem with that, especially if you're someone like me who is a foodie, so then you end up getting bored very easily, is even though we like these foods, when you have them on repeat, you start to get to a point where you are sick of them. And that's where I'm at right now. Like I am so bored with what we are eating, and it's my own fault because that is my job. You know what I mean? I am the one who does the meal planning and stuff. So I got nobody to blame but myself. So I feel like I need to slow down and be more intentional and start making more at home, trying to save money on food by making stuff at home. And, when I have a day off of work, maybe make 2 or 3 batches of things like muffins or cookies to be able to put into the freezer so that I don't have to buy snacky stuff like that. It's a win-win, but it all comes down to slowing down and prioritizing and being super intentional about it. So, and that was another thing I want to see. I'm getting ahead of myself. There's so much that I wanted to say. Another thing with like the being intentional and slowing down is, let's take the food. Can you hear that? It's probably really loud. That is my washing machine, because we live in an old house, so the floors aren't level. So it's in the spin cycle right now and it's going crazy. So let me pause this until it finishes. Okay, I think we're okay. It has calmed down. Okay, so what was I saying? I was talking about being so sick of all the different meals that I'm making, because it's just like, feels like everything is on repeat. So another thing I feel like I need to do with things is make some of the recipes that, I do make all the time, but truly, truly slow down and taste it. And be brutal about, is this really something that we really, truly enjoy? Or am I making this on repeat because it's simple and I know how to make it and I don't have to think too much? Because if I'm just making it to like fill my belly, basically, but I'm not truly, truly in love with it, or like, no one in my house is truly, truly in love with it, then am I really fulfilling, like, when you eat something, like, it should be an experience, you know what I mean? It should bring you joy. Obviously, it should fill your belly and nourish you and all of that, but there should be enjoyment there too. And that's the thing. Am I truly, truly enjoying it? So like, when I make whatever, a lot of times I feel like I just make it because it's easy. It's easy to put on the meal plan. And I feel like I really, really want to slow down and start really, really paying attention. And I've actually done this in the past. And what I generally will do in a situation like that is, if it's one of those things that like we are sick of it, and I feel like it's something that like maybe we would like it if we weren't sick of it, I'll actually take it out of my recipe book and I will put it into a folder. And on the folder, it says recipes on hold. And it just basically is a group of recipes that like, we're so sick of it. I don't even want it in the cookbook, because I don't even want it to be like an option when I'm doing my meal plan. I want it out of my mind. And then maybe, in a year, I'll revisit that recipe, and maybe then it'll be like, oh, this is really, really good because we haven't had it in a year. Do you know what I mean? So I need to be very intentional about that. I'm going to talk about this further, like in videos that actually pertain to these particular subjects. But I feel like I also really just want to, again, going along with the intentionality, really, really start to be picky about some of the items that I'm keeping in my collections, whether that be tea, whether that be food, and whether that be like the body care and hygiene. Like, you guys know that I do the like shop my stash baskets. And right now, when I'm doing the shop my stash baskets, I'm basically, I'm using the products and then giving you guys like little reviews, like what I think. I think I kind of want to take that a step further and not only tell you guys what I think of it, but also decide if it's something that I would repurchase and whether I want it to be a part of like my permanent collection. So really, really putting the items on the chopping block, and instead of just giving like, reviews like, oh yeah, this is great. Okay, it's great, but is it good enough to have a permanent place in my collection? And I feel like I want to do the same thing with the teas, and even coffee, to be honest. Like, does it deserve a permanent spot in my collection? So I feel like I just want to take it up a notch and just be a little harsher with what I'm choosing to purchase and put my money on. Obviously, you guys know I still love to try new things, whether it's coffee, tea, products, like I do. So I'm still going to be doing that. It's just, is it worth the shelf space of keeping it there? And like, let's take the body care and stuff like that. If it's not, then I think what I want to do is put it on a shelf, and those will be the items that go into the product use it ups. So does that make sense? So I may start that actually with the next Shop My Stash basket. And because I really, really, really want to be like sure about it, instead of having a whole basket full of items, I may kind of like pull back on that a little bit and not have as many products in there. That way I can really, really spend a lot of time on the products instead of just using them like once or twice to get a feel for them. So look for that too to happen. Like I said, there's just a lot right now, and I don't know if it's just because it's autumn or I don't know what it is, but I just feel like I want to take it up a notch and rein some things in. So I don't know. That's where we're at. Let me know your thoughts down below. The cake is out of the oven. That's what it looks like. It smells really, really good. And then I just switched the clothes into the dryer and then put a load of towels into the washer. And I did up the dishes. I just need to dry them. So I think at this point, I am going to go ahead and dust and vacuum the living room and just kind of fluff the pillows and fold the blankets and all that good stuff. Make the house feel a little cozier.
Gravel road, I've been asked to slow down. Fireplace, do you know how? Piles of paper, my desk is out. Who will care for the world now? Rest with me, close to curtains, brew some herbal tea. Reach out for me, take my hand and lead even when I disagree. Oh, how I love when it rains outside, and it's okay to slow the ride. Discover books I forget about, but who care for the world now? Rest with me, close the curtains, brew some herbal tea. Reach out for me, take my hand and lead even when I disagree. Maybe then I can relax. Maybe then I can relax. Bring my hair loose in my bed. The curtain, brew some herbal tea. Reach out for me, oh, and take my hand and lead even when I disagree.
So I just came outside to take the trash can to the road because of trash pickup, but look, it's a walking stick. I thought it was a stick when I first pulled the trash can out, but it is a walking stick. Pretty cool. The cake is cooled, so I am going to throw together the frosting now. So it's a 1/4 cup of butter and then a 1/2 cup of peanut butter. And 1 cup of, actually, you know what? I'm gonna beat this first so I can kind of incorporate it. Okay, now I'm gonna add in, it's 1 cup of powdered sugar and just a drizzle of vanilla and like a tablespoon, a little bit more of milk. And let's see if that is going to be the right consistency. And it's a little too runny, so I'm going to add a little bit more powdered sugar. Okay, now it's starting to look better. Still feel like it's a little bit thin, so I'm gonna add a little bit more powdered sugar, but I'm also gonna scrape this down so it mixes better. And a little bit of powdered sugar. That should be good. All right. Okay, so this should be good. There are like a little bit of lumps in it, which is fine. I mean, let's be real, you guys. This is a homemade cake. It's not gonna look perfect. We're going for taste, not appearance here. All right, I just tasted it and it tastes like so good. So we're just gonna plop this on the cake. And like I said, there are a little bit of like lumps, but that's okay. Gives you a little texture, that's all. And then I actually, with this cake, because I like the frosting and everything, to me, it tastes like the best when you actually refrigerate it for a little bit. And then the frosting almost like gets like a little bit more solid, if that makes sense. Yep, there we go, you guys. I'm gonna put some plastic wrap over this and then stick it in the fridge, and it will be perfect for after dinner tonight. So you remember earlier when I was talking about like my stockpile and everything? So this is like all the pasta I have at this point. Do you guys remember when it was like completely full, like literally like 2 rows deep and like stacked? Those days are over, but it's time for me to restock. And like this side, look at that. It is so empty. Now, like I said though before, the baking one is still doing pretty good, like the baking mixes, because I have restocked on, you know, the ones that I have used for the most part. I do need to get like another cornbread mix and like a couple muffin mixes, but for the majority of it, it's still pretty stocked. But yeah, this like cabinet over here, I need to do better. So tomorrow I have to go to the store. I think I'm going to start picking up like a few little like boxes of pasta and things here and there and see if I can get this restocked soon. It is the next day, you guys, but I just wanted to pop on here because I had said yesterday that I was going to start stocking up on pasta when I went to the store today. I actually did not, and the reason I didn't is because they actually had their pumpkin on sale for $1.16 a can, which is insane because it's usually like well over $2. So I ended up getting 24 of them because I'm somebody who wants to use pumpkin even in July. So this is basically stocking up for like the entire year. And then I wanted to show you guys too, if you are in the market for sheets or anything like that right now, they have, I think these are technically, they were supposed to be summer ones, but like really who cares? They were only $7 for the whole set. So yeah, if you are in the market for sheets or pumpkin, go to Walmart. Okay, guys, let me just pop in face to face with you. Please don't mind the mess. I'm like sweaty right now because I just carried all these groceries in and they're all still just like sitting there. But thank you guys so much for watching, and just comment down below and let me know, because I know that on this channel I've kind of gone back and forth with it. Do you guys want to see my weekly grocery hauls? Now this, what I would probably be, would be a video of like all the grocery hauls for the week, because you guys know how I shop. I usually go to Walmart multiple times, and then sometimes I also will add in like another store. So the video would probably be like the whole week's worth. So it wouldn't just be like one Walmart haul. It would literally be like all of that week's like food shopping. Let me know if that's something that you guys are interested in seeing. But thank you guys so much for hanging out for a little bit, and I'll see you very soon.